Hello and welcome. Now in this video, we are actually going to add contacts to our GetResponse platform. Now if you have contacts that you already have permission to add them to your mailing list, you can then upload them to GetResponse. Or it could be that they are stored in another autoresponder and you want to use them in GetResponse. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to create a list in order to place those contacts. So we're going to go and click the contacts button. And when you get here, you'll notice that there's a button there that says create list. And you want to create a specific list that you're going to upload your contacts to. We're going to give our list a name. When you create your list name, you won't be able to use spaces. So you'll need to make sure that it's going to be all one word. And in order to make sure that your list is going to be one that GetResponse will accept, you're going to hit the tab button. And if it does, and you don't get an error message, then that list name is going to be okay. So for example, let's take a look at a list name that would not be okay. So in this particular case, I took the same word and I wrote it out and I left spaces. And if I hit the tab button, what you're going to notice is that the message from GetResponse is that the name contains invalid characters. So what we're going to do is we're going to change this to all one word. And then we're going to hit the tab button, and that is acceptable to GetResponse. We're then going to hit the create button. So now we're going to place our contacts inside of this list that we're calling Automate Your Email. And to do that, we're going to click the Add Contacts button. Now what we're going to do when we get to this screen is we're going to select the list. It's going to be Automate Your Email. And what we're going to do in order to import our contacts is we're going to use a CSV file that we already have either from our old autoresponder or from a previous list that we have. And so what we're going to do is we're going to click this button that says Upload a File using external service or paste rows. And what we're going to do is we're going to choose our file. And as you can see here, we can choose a CSV file, we can choose a text file, a VCF file, or even an Excel file up to 10 megabytes. So what we're going to do is we're going to choose the CSV file. Now there are other services that we can actually use in order to import the list. For example, if we click the Connect Service link, you'll see that we can import contacts from Zendesk, Google Docs, Google Contacts, and other places. So if you have those services, you can actually connect your contacts through them. For example, if we were to click Google Docs, we would need then to authorize Google Docs in order to work with our GetResponse. We'll need to give GetResponse some permissions. And we can actually choose a document where we have our contacts, and we can use that document in order to connect our new contacts inside of the list. Now another way that we can actually do this is we can go to click Paste from File. And what we can do is if we have the email addresses, name, and any other custom field in this format, we can actually cut and paste that information line by line inside of this field. What we're going to do is we're going to go back to the Upload File link. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to upload the CSV file, which is the most common way of importing contacts. Now, once we have our file, we have some choices. If we already have contacts in the list, we can just update the existing contacts. In other words, GetResponse will only place information in to update contact information. We can add only the new contacts, or we can only update the existing. Now in this particular case, we're going to add and update existing. And we're going to need to designate to GetResponse that we do have permission in order to add these people to our list. We're then going to click Next. Now GetResponse will try to make some assumptions about what your file means. And so in order to do that, you'll just want to make sure that all of the information actually lines up the way you want it to. Now in this particular case, you'll notice that GetResponse assumes that there's a date that's a birth date. We do not necessarily want that date. And in fact, what we can do, we can go to this row and then we can either skip and don't import that information, or we can add a new field. In this particular case, we're going to skip that field, so we don't need it. So we now have a first name field, a last name field, and an email field. And what we're going to do now is we're going to import this data. Now, a question that may come up is whether or not you are going to be sending these people a confirmation in order to become part of your list. And actually, when GetResponse imports your emails, they assume that you have permission, and so they will not be sending out a confirmation email. They will be added to your list as long as the import is determined fit by GetResponse. So we're going to scroll down and we're going to click the Import button. So what GetResponse is going to do is they're going to run some standard checks to make sure that the list is not going to be harmful to their system. And then this is typically going to take, according to GetResponse, about 2 hours. We're going to click Now OK, got it. Now when the process is complete, GetResponse will actually have your statistics in its database, and you'll see that GetResponse uploaded 36 contacts, 34 have been added to your Automate Your Email list, and this process is now complete. You can now email these contacts through your GetResponse email. Okay, so with that, thanks, and I will see you in another video.